1580 Nobunaga's determination. Nobunaga recognized the other two resurrections immediately. Like Nobuhide and Masahide, he saw them every time he slept. His brother Nobukatsu, also known as Nobuyuki, and his late father-in-law Dosen Saito, the Viper of Mino. Viper. Nobukatsu. Monk, how cruel are you? Kenyo laughed. It was the only way to defeat you. Judging by your reaction, I was right. I'm not much of a fighter. If I faced you alone, I'd be a dead man. So, I gathered a few friends. But you see, my plan worked. Normally you'd have already charged in. I know you, Nobunaga, you're a reckless fool. But there you stand, frozen and stupefied. Does this mean you'll consider peace? Surrender your sword, and that can be the end of it. I'll bring back everyone you lost organically. Also, I'll use the full power of Onakage to unite the land, destroy the samurai traditions you so despise and bring forth the peace you seek. What do you say? Nobunaga summoned his sword and said, I'd say that you are insane if you think I'd consider passing my destiny onto you for even a moment, invalidating their deaths, for the sake of my feelings. You don't seem to understand who I am. I am Nobunaga Oda, the Demon King, and my determination has no end. The path I've chosen is rife with grief and loss. Very few can walk such a path, one with such a high toll. I lost my father, the Viper, my mentor, and most of my brothers on this path. Those were the prices I paid to build a new world. I'll pay them all again if I must. Nobunaga rushed at Kenyo, only to be cut off by the resurrections. Seeing them in his path, he froze, refusing to cut them down, and as a result, he was immediately stabbed by them. Nobunaga fell to the ground as a pool formed from his blood. Is that it? Is this how it ends? Nobunaga started to go unconscious. Meanwhile, Kazumasu was ordering his crew to jump overboard. Everyone abandon ship, the Maeda is taking water fast. Mitsuhide and Yoshitaka couldn't believe one of their floating castles was sinking. Everyone had assumed nothing could damage one before any more thought could be paid to it. Rinto emerged from Kazumasu's ship and dove into the sea beneath Mitsuhide's ship. Everyone, be calm, I'll handle this. I am the kamikaze, and I shall protect everyone from the villainous Rinto. Mitsuhide then donned his brilliant diamond armor and summoned his diamond blade, but it was of no use. He and his men fell to the deck. Their ship inexplicably rose from the sea into the air. Yoshitaka Kuki ordered everyone to abandon the ship immediately as he looked in horror at the sight before him. Rinto had lifted the massive ship and was poised to drop it onto the 1,200. Mitsuhide and his men jumped overboard as soon as they could gain their footing. Not all of the crew was so lucky, many were crushed as the terrible rage monsters smashed the two massive ships into one another. Mitsuhide watched helplessly as the beast destroyed both ships with one massive energy bomb. Why didn't Lord Nobunaga have this monster sealed earlier? Did he expect to find some way to harness its eternal power? Has his greed no limitations? Is this my fault? As the kamikaze, is it not my responsibility to stop the Rinto and Onakage from destroying humanity? Rinto wasted no time returning to the battlefield. Poor Hisamune Tojo, a unit captain under Katsui, didn't notice Rinto as he dropped from the sky. Hisamune was crushed instantly under the heavy feet of the mighty beast. His men barely had seconds to realize the fate of their captain before being exploded by one of Rinto's indiscriminate bombs. Rairan and the last of the Ikko-Ikki monks, seeing the Rinto tearing the Oda to pieces, decided to surrender in hopes the beast would spare them. The beast smiled, punched his giant fist through Rairan's head, and blew up the remaining monks. Suddenly, Rinto was swarmed and buried under a mound of the armor and weapons of his victims. Ujisato gritted his teeth as he used all his power to swarm the beast with every metal object he could control. It seemed the beast was finally pacified, but two spots in the mound of metal started to glow red. The burned man watched from a safe distance, having no idea what was about to happen. From another distant location, the hand of fate watched the events unfold, equally aloof of the outcome.